Hello everybody, welcome back to another pickups video for July 2016. This episode I'm going to hop into it again pretty quickly because I got a lot of stuff, but before I do I just want to say that for the most part I'm going to be just showing the games really quickly and then moving on, but if it's something that I think needs to be pointed out or said, I will go into greater detail, mainly on things that I really personally enjoy. So without further ado, let's hop right into the first piece, and that is a Sega Game Gear here. I picked up a big lot of Game Gear things. Now the Game Gear, I think, is actually a really cool system. It came out in the US at least, it came out in 1991. In Japan, I think it came out in 1990. So it's 25 this year in the US, which is cool. It has similar hardware to the Master System. And there's actually a way you can play Master System games on the Game Gear, which I think is sweet. It needs I think it's called a Master Gear. I believe that's what it's called. It's pretty cool. I really like it. It has full color, and it has a backlit screen, which is huge. It's pretty ahead of its time in that terms. It has a terrible battery life, though. It takes 6 AA batteries, and it lasts about 2 hours, so not very good. But as you can see, these bad boys are huge, and they're really nice because of their size. They fit really well in my hands. I really enjoy them. I think they're a comparable size. They don't really have the best library, in my opinion, but, you know, with the Master System games, it helps a lot. It doesn't have a lot of exclusive games, though, which is kind of a pain, but that's fine. It also came with the, what is this bad boy called? There it is, the Super Wide Gear. Basically, the way this thing works is you open it like this, and this would latch on to a cartridge on the back right here. So you put this part on like this, and if you have a cartridge in there, it would latch onto the cartridge, and it extends your screen quite a bit. It makes it very wide. So I think that's pretty handy. Certainly a help. Went through all the games there very quickly. Pretty decent amount of games. None of them are really standout games, but, you know, they're pretty solid games for the Game Gear. There's not too many standout games for the Game Gear in general, in my opinion. There's probably a couple, but none that I really think should be gone into without having it. Then, next at a flea market, I came across a couple PlayStation 1 controllers. You can never have enough of these. I find myself breaking these buttons, or the shoulder buttons, pretty frequently if I play the PlayStation 1 a lot. So, I mean, you can never have too many controllers, let's be honest. Also, I don't think I said it, but the Game Gear came in the actual Game Gear case. It has the wires and it has a bunch of manuals. It also has clamshell cases for the games. That's actually how I found it. It was in the luggage section, so thrift store tip, always look in places you don't think games are going to be. Next up here I have some pretty cool stuff. They're not really super sought after or anything. There goes the train, fantastic. But they are the Golden Series books. This one is Super Mario Trapped in the Perilous Pit. And this one is Legend of Zelda Moblin's Magic Spear. These came out in the 80s. I'm not entirely sure when in the 80s, but I know they came out in the 80s. They're pretty cool. I think they are neat, so they'll go ahead and go on my shelf. Next I have a bunch of DS games that I just sort of found, so I don't know too much about these ones. For the most part, in terms of DS games, I only know the ones that I play. So, these ones are not ones that I play. They're more over for my nephew. Junior Classic Games. Professional Fisherman's Tour. Zoo Tycoon 2. This one's actually probably one I would play. Polarium. I don't know if it's exactly what I would play, but I probably would. My Sims Racing. I love kart racers, so how can you say no? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I don't really know much about this game, but I saw that Rudolph from the movie and I thought it was pretty neat. SpongeBob Hero Pants. This one's actually newer. I don't know when it came out, but I know it's newer, so there's that. SpongeBob Squiggle Pants. Wipeout. Is that Wipeout, or is that Wipeout 2? That is Wipeout 2. Okay. Wipeout 2 and Steve Irwin's Zoo Quest. How can you say no to Steve Irwin? Come on. Next up, we got a couple more. We got one more DS game here, which is Gardening Mama. All of these were found on the same, at the same time, so they're not really things that I chose, they're just things that were there. Next up on the PSP, we have Naruto Ultimate Ninja Heroes. I'm not a huge fan of the Naruto games, but the older Naruto games, I think this one is too. Actually, no, this one is not, but the older Naruto games were cel-shaded. They were cel-shaded graphics, and I thoroughly enjoy that. I also really like fighting games, so I figured may as well give that one a shot. Then we have Bakugan, Battle Brawlers. I've heard of Bakugan, but I never knew that they actually made a game of it. Nor did I really ever play it. I just know the name. I don't actually know what it is. I just picked it up for super cheap, so I figured why not give it a shot, play it with my nephew, he might like it. Then we got Pokemon Blue. Found this one in a thrift store as well. This was actually... There's no Goodwills around me, but there is a Habitat for Humanity thrift store. So that's actually where I found that. Then we have Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith on the Xbox. And The Sims 3 on PC. I feel like I'm the only person left on the planet that actually enjoys the Sims games. I just don't play them. I like them, I think they're neat, but I don't play them personally. Next up, I got something else that I think is really cool. If you're a fan of the Halo series, I got Halo, the first 3 novels, which is neat. All 3 of them are here in order, because I'm really anal about that. But these books did a fantastic job answering some of the small details and sort of fleshing out the Halo universe, in my opinion. I think they're really good. They're pretty solid, honestly. The first book here, Fall of Reach is what it's called. I'll give you a quick synopsis on these. It goes over, what is it called? The Mjolnir program, which is like their armor. It goes over that, and it goes over the creation of the main characters, like Master Chief, like Cortana, Captain Keyes, I think, is in it. It just has really good detail about the first contact with the Covenant, and I thought that was really cool. I'm not really a fan of sci-fi alien stuff, but this is a really nice book series for things like that. I think it's really cool. Then for the second book is The Flood, which is probably the least interesting book, if I'm honest with you. It's mostly combat, but I think it's still worth reading, even though it's pretty similar to the game. I definitely think it's worth reading. It has a really interesting perspective. It has, at one part of it, I know it has, the fight from the Covenant side, and I thought that was really interesting. It's definitely an intriguing read. If you like the Halo series, I would recommend it. And then this is the final book. I believe this is the third one. I think First Strike is the third one. But it is a really good segue from the end of the first Halo into the second Halo. It has lots of plot, so I'm not going to spoil it, honestly. It's worth reading if you're a fan of Halo 1 and 2, though. That much I will say. I think they're great books. So if you like the Halo series, I would read them. I think they're neat. I just hit the camera trying to put the books back in their sleeve. There we go. Next up we have... the only reason I got this, Real Fishing, is because it's a Natsume game. So it can't be that bad, right? Then I have a couple PC games and a Xbox 360 game. This one is sealed and it's hiding from me. First off, here's the 360 game. It's Darksiders 2. I actually really enjoyed this game. It is sealed here. I thought it was kind of fun. It's not great. It's not a fantastic game, but it's not bad. It's just not a game that I think I would play more than once, honestly. Next up, I have a big old stack of PC games. The first one I remember playing when I was younger. It is the Oregon Trail. I remember playing this in school, actually. Ton of fun. Then we have Vampire the Masquerade. Unfortunately, this is only Redemption, so not the best one of the series, but I do really like this series. I think it's a ton of fun. Then we have some of my favorite things in the world. That is flight simulators on the PC. I got 2 of them. I love flight simulators on the PC. I don't know what it is. They feel so good. This is an Ubisoft game too, from way back when. Then we have Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Unfortunately, this is only the Mac one, so not quite as good as it could be, but the Clone Campaigns DLC as well. Pretty cool. I think it's neat at least. Then I have something that I really think is neat. I found this at a thrift store again, but it was the only game that was there, so I thought that was really cool that I actually found this one, and that is Chrono Trigger on the DS, sealed with the first run. First run means that it has a poster in it, and since this has the same cover art as the SNES version, the poster is actually somewhat sought after, so this sealed version goes for a little bit more than it normally would. So that's pretty cool. In my opinion, this right here, the DS Chrono Trigger, is the easiest way to play a physical copy of Chrono Trigger in the United States. And honestly, you want to play Chrono Trigger. This is one of the greatest games of all time. It is a time manipulating RPG. I'm not going to go too far into it because I think it's one of the best games and I don't want to spoil it whatsoever for anybody. But absolutely recommend playing this game. Even if it's not on the DS, even if it's on the SNES, that's really expensive, but I guess you could. And finally, I'm going to have to stand up to reach these bad boys. I have a stack of PlayStation 2 games that I got as a bundle. That was probably really loud. First off is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. This is a part of the double pack, but they didn't have the double pack, which is a bit of a shame. I only have the double pack for Xbox. I would love to have it for PlayStation, so that's why I got that. Then they had Dance Dance Revolution Max 2. You know, you gotta get the dancing on. Then they have American Idol, when you gotta get that singing on. Then there's Medal of Honor Rising Sun. I actually really liked the Medal of Honor games. Then, one of my favorite games on the Xbox is also on the PlayStation. This is Taito Legends. I love Taito. I love Taito games. I love Bubble Bobble. Bubble Bobble is easily my favorite, but fantastic. Tons of fun. Really nice game. Then we have Simpsons Hidden Run. I don't remember who I was talking to this game with, but I was talking to somebody about this game. This is actually a really fun game. Believe it or not, it's pretty fun. Then there's Need for Speed Carbon. Whoever had this case put it on upside down, so I had to flip it around, but... And then there's The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. I love all the Spyro games. Spyro, honestly, is just so much fun. And then we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists of the Rose. That's neat. That's a Goodwill sticker, but like I said, there's no Goodwills around me, so I don't know where the heck whoever sold this to me got these at. Because there's no Goodwill near me at all. There's no Goodwill. I don't think there's a Goodwill in my state, and if there is, it's way north of me. Here we have SOCOM 3 U.S. Navy SEALs. I also like the SOCOM game, believe it or not. I thought they were adequate at least. Then we have Friends, the one with all the trivia. I have never been a fan of Friends, so I would lose that game every single time it was played. And finally, we have Rayman Raving Rabbids, which is it actually surprised me that this game was on the PlayStation 2, because I know it's on the 360, and I know it's on the Wii, so kind of odd. I know they made PlayStation 2 games until like 2008 or something, but still, it's a little weird. That's all I got, everybody. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this month's pickup videos, and I will see you next month.